The day is March 15th, 2032. You are you, Morgan you, and you have a problem because aliens exist and you have an intense desire to melt them down and inject them into your skull. That's not the problem though. In fact, you really seem to like that part. The issue is you, Alex you, who is Yu's brother. Obviously that would be bad enough already, but he has also trapped you inside of a testing genjutsu. We've been stuck here for so long that Yu has all of the questions memorized. However, Alex loves to throw out little curveballs, such as, survive this gas chamber real quick. I won't lie, I was slightly caught off guard by that one, and it's safe to say, Alex got us again, but surely we'd be ready tomorrow. The day is March 15th, 2032, and you have a problem, because yesterday appears to be today, and we have no idea what happened to tomorrow. It is right after this psychotic episode that most players will realize Prey is an objectively good game. Much like any other masterpiece, you start off with a wrench, yet they go one step further, giving you the ability to throw physics objects. As a real gamer, I've always felt spiritually enriched from throwing office supplies at aliens. But is it possible to beat the entire game using only throw? Dropping the wrench, we come face to face with our first impossible task. Thrown objects don't deal any damage yet, so we can't break the glass to escape our apartment. Ironically, this means we've hit our first wall because we can't hit a wall. Fortunately, there are people out there who will put endless hours into a game in order to play it as little as possible. They are called speedrunners, and we shall break bread with them, for today we are blessed by their masochism. Following in their footsteps, we can throw a chair on top of this door, mantle onto both a cabinet and that chair in order to clip through the ceiling. The final jump is called Hate Myself Want to Die Pain, and it lived up to its name. Yu finally escapes, only to come to a horrifying realization. His entire apartment has been non-consensually relocated into a simulations lab. And I know I should be upset about this, but honestly, I'm just impressed, because I'm pretty sure I was home when that happened. No doubt this is another one of our older brother's pranks. I decided to acquire Alex and pelt him with heavy objects until he puts my house back where it belongs. Following the signs back to the lobby, I realized the logistics of this plan might be more complicated than originally anticipated, because Alex has launched my house into outer space. I fucking hate this guy. The only good news is, apparently, you have an office here, and a personal assistant named January, who has Yu's voice.
Welcome back. This has been your home for the last 3 years.
What a disarming trait. January informs us the only way we're going to survive this is by stuffing our brain filled with neuromods. We can use these to upgrade our leverage, to move heavier objects, and throw with enough force to finally deal some damage. The timing of this could not be better, as we are immediately jump scared into one of the most chaotic combat experiences I have ever had in a video game. Clawing around in the darkness for objects to throw is already pretty stressful. Fighting a mimic that can turn itself into any throwable object is significantly more so, as there is a non-zero chance what you are about to pick up is going to kill you. Every mimic I came across became a boss level encounter. Combat was weirdly hectic as you dash around madly for something to toss. Usually, this results in turning around to find the enemy is right behind you as you try to aim your throws. It is around this time that I learned two very important things. Throwing objects that require leverage can knock enemies over, and just because you can fight does not mean you should. While looking for our brother, you will come across many different types of Typhons, each with their own strengths and weaknesses. Such as this thermal phantom, who is immune to fire damage, which means the normally overpowered explosive canisters are completely useless. And even with leverage 2, I was still feeling awfully submissive and breedable, so I went looking for an ally. Checking the employee database, I came across Emma Beatty. You have become infatuated with Emma Beatty, and you will do everything in your power to save her, no matter what the cost. We now had a secondary objective aboard this ship. But if you want to get anywhere inside Talos I, the best way is the main lift, connecting all of the major areas. Naturally, something is interfering with the lift, paralyzing the entire station, while making exploration dangerous and time-consuming. My lack of tools became deeply concerning during this period, and it was shocking how much I missed the glue gun. as it is arguably the most important item for moving around the map safely. For example, we could have used it to stop the flow of electricity, opening up the left-hand path, or climbed up the other side entirely. Instead, we're forced to walk straight forward. Thankfully, after one more certified glue gun moment, we're given our first usable throwing items. 2 EMP charges, along with a Typhon lure. These EMPs are particularly clutch against squads of robots that are both incredibly annoying and very creepy because they hunt you by name.
Is that Morgan you? I'm looking for Morgan you. I can't treat you if I can't see you. Morgan you. Tell me if I'm a good medical.
I'm not kidding when I say that is Tom Kenny, the voice actor for SpongeBob. We had come here for 2 things. 1, the official TranStar uniform jetpack attachment, which kinda lets you float. 2, enough neuromods to increase our run speed and jump height for some much needed mobility. Feeling slightly more prepared, I went to go power up the elevator. During the walk, something unexpected happens. You receive good news. Somehow, you made a robot for this exact scenario, designed to help you escape the ship. Turning right back around, you head to the meeting spot. Just in time to watch January fucking explode him and then explain it's actually totally fine because you are going to do the same to everyone else and then yourself. You find this somewhat suspicious, however, you do not have time to worry about it right now, and decide to internalize that information later. After all, Emma still needs our help, and all this talk of blowing up Talos I along with all of its inhabitants might stress her out. On our way there, we trapped a mimic inside of a cargo prison, coming across a nifty hat in the process. This will allow us to scan and identify strange foreign creatures in order to better understand them and how to put them down. Through extensive data collection, one of my favorite methods of this became the recycler charge, as many entities find having their physical form ripped apart down to the molecule and then rearranged into its component materials to be suboptimal to one's health and well-being. My restrictions also led to new discoveries, such as using an EMP to stop this fan and sneak through the ducts. On a side note, flying in this game is very fun. However, I found, in space, my build takes a bit of a hit, as there is a distinct lack of things to throw. But I digress. We're a mere 200 meters from reaching Emma along with the elevator, and upon reaching the Arboretum, we find a recycling machine, which would be the bonfire if Prey was a Souls-like, as they elicit the exact same feeling. You use these materials to create more neuromods and sustain your growing cyberpsychosis. You are so obsessed with them at this point that when you see your first nightmare, the initial reaction you have is not to flee, but to rip a door off its hinges and hunt it down for its genetic materials. My search for the nightmare eventually led us to the greenhouse and a far more irritating foe. This telepath has the rage-inducing ability to knock you back a little bit with every AoE blast, which will cancel the process of picking up items to throw. More often than not, this would effectively lead to me being stun-locked until death. You should also take caution here not to brush up against anything, as you will simply drop whatever is in your hand, which might not be so bad, considering your throws are often more lethal to you than anybody else around. I eventually settled upon a strategy I would like to call the Human Fertilizer Catapult. You hide behind the safety of a wall. You launch 80-pound bags of fertilizer straight up into the air, and you pray that it lands somewhere remotely close to the enemy. Given enough time, even you will be successful, allowing you to reap what you have sown. Besides food, the greenhouse also contains some null wave transmitters. You can think of these as alien EMPs. Alex also happens to keep his house nearby, and with our now very nice jump and speed boosts, getting there is fairly easy. He isn't home right now, but like a bloodhound, you can smell the neuromods he's hiding in there. Everyone seems to be hiding neuromods from you, despite the fact that they only seem to make you more you. A stronger you, a faster you, a better you.
I keep having this dream.
What's happening? Don't let them do this to you.
I can feel it. Hate us.
Well, that was weird. Completely unrelated to our rapid mental degradation, it's time for you to pick up the pace and cut off January's incessant yapping with a montage.
From what I can tell, it's the
Let's do this.
Our labor of love has secured safe passage for Emma. However, we are immediately informed that there is now an issue with the ship's oxygen supply. That does sound kind of important, so you go to take a look. The elevator makes reaching the control room very simple. But down here, you will discover two things. One, you do not want to be here unless you are wearing your official TranStar uniform and jetpack. Secondly, some Typhons have evolved to perfectly counter your build. As not only does this poltergeist turn completely invisible, he can also control gravity at will. I do not know if you have realized this, but throwing builds rely heavily upon gravity. Unfortunately, I would be lying if I said this was the most difficult foe we faced down here, because we soon found the nightmare again. Your average experience of fighting the nightmare looks something like this. You will go to pick up something to throw, proceed to be one shot, and then try again. It would appear that this problem may require more finesse. However, fuck that. We're brute forcing this. Grab cargo crates. More cargo crates. So many cargo crates we can bury the nightmare under the weight of our wasted free time. Then we can revel in the glory of a beautiful death. No longer would anything come between you and Emma ever again. She's currently in the fitness center. That's so Emma. You pick up a dumbbell to show how strong you've become for her, only to drop it moments later in shock. Emma Beatty has been JFK'd. Sinking to his knees, something inside you snaps. You were nothing before her, and now you've lost everything. This is all Alex's fault. January was right the entire time, and I didn't want to have to do this, but he's left me no choice. I'm telling Mom. The only problem with this plan was how I was going to get a message off of Talos I. Our brother has shut down all methods of communications on board the ship, which makes telling our parents difficult but not impossible. Using Alex's computer, we can upload this file, which will trigger a direct response from TranStar upper management. They have sent Commander Walter Dahl to take control of the ship from Alex and handle the Typhon outbreak. His robots do shoot rather indiscriminately, but he came in his own shuttle, and I'm willing to bet I can send a recording from it. As you search for the right button, you come across Dahl's mission parameters, given to him by your father.
You must secure every piece of Cobalt clearance level technology and research aboard Talos I. Then eliminate all TranStar personnel.
All personnel.
No survivors.
You really think a day can't get any worse until the love of your life dies, and then 5 minutes later, you find out your parents have ordered a hit on you. I felt strongly that it was time to ask Dahl a couple of questions about morality. Now, where did the commander choose to set up his base of operations? Well, I'll tell you. Back down in life support, right next to the oxygen control room. And, somebody forgot to wear their official TranStar uniform and jetpack. Taking Dahl's breath away, we now had a new best friend, to manipulate however we'd like. You remove the memories of the hit, and then convince Dahl he actually came here to save you and bring you back to Earth. It really is wild what you can do to people with chips in their brain. This leaves you with only one remaining problem, the one you've had the entire time. Alex. In classic Alex fashion, he has decided now is the optimal time to come out of hiding and share with us that we have the capability to create a device that would have saved Talos I. I don't know what to say, besides, I wish he had shared that with us a little bit earlier. After some careful observation and analysis, I came to the conclusion that this shit is not good, and it's time to leave. While Doll prepares the shuttle, I drag my brother to meet January, who reacts the same way most people do upon seeing Alex. This resonates deeply with you. In fact, maybe it was just a dream, but you swear you've seen this before. The feeling of deja vu persists as you almost mechanically overload the ship's nuclear reactor. I would like to briefly go off script and mention that this technopath somehow attached 2 machine gun turrets to itself, and I could not kill it. Now I know what you're thinking. This shit is scripted? And yes, it just took an eternity, because if you were like me and you have to make this decision every 2 seconds, you would lose the plot as well. Regardless, your final choice has been made. Perhaps it's the radiation or all those neuromods we've been inhaling, but for the first time in a long time, you have a completely clear mind. Smiling as you watch Doll depart with the survivors, you will not be joining them. You died for the first time when Emma did, and soon you will be with her again, truly free.
You better do something. The reconstruction is destabilizing.
They're lying to you.
Hurry.
We failed. This isn't the one.
Start over.
Good morning, Morgan. Today is Monday, March 15th, 2032.